Hi friends, with everything going on at Twitter right now, people have talked about the risks that come with losing a public utility or maybe a town square. And as I'm recording this, I have no idea what's happening there or what's going to happen. But from my view, Twitter isn't quite either of those things. For me, Twitter is an airport, in that it's one of the most unpleasant places in the world to be, and everyone there is in their worst mood and on their worst behavior. And it would probably be better for the planet if we all used it a lot less, but also, every time you're there, it's exciting because you're on your way somewhere. All of the monetary value of Twitter is wrapped up in how much we must love to, go through TSA screenings or how many $15 bottled juices we might buy while we're in there. Meanwhile, everyone who uses it understands that it's a weird and yet necessary means to get to where we're trying to go. I first came to Twitter on business trips. I created my current account the same day that I made my YouTube channel in 2011 so that I could tell anybody that I was making videos. It became the conduit for finding collaborators, reminding people that I was still here, telling them about my new work. I live tweeted presidential debates, this is true, to court my first job in politics, and it worked. When I hosted Crash Course Linguistics, a community of Twitter linguists circled around me to talk about our intersecting work and defended me against commenters who griped about my vocal fry. It was through Twitter that I found a writer teaching a music journalism class over Zoom in 2021. I signed up, and when I started pitching my first music journalism pieces last summer, Twitter is where I found names of editors and other writers to look up to and learn from. I tweeted out my first public articles, and some other music journalists followed me back. I never went to journalism school or attended a conference or had a bunch of connections with important people, but they clicked that button to let me into the club. It's something I've been able to do through my career too, build the ladder behind me, to make an introduction, to share someone's work that I thought was good, to get a boost of morale, or to give it. And in that process, I started taking Twitter to family vacations. I don't know, this metaphor has its limits. While I've found a lot of my favorite people on YouTube, Twitter is how I actually made those viewerships into friendships. There's an art to admiring someone's work and then liking a few tweets and then replying without reply guying until a genuine human relationship forms. When I lived in places where I didn't have community, that's how I found my community. When I say that Twitter has gotten me to people, Twitter has gotten me to them physically. Twitter friends in many cities have taken me to drinks or met me for coffee. My first conversations with my partner happened on Twitter. Twitter friends have welcomed me into their homes and let me crash on their couches in California and Montana and New York, where I live now in no small part thanks to Twitter. I would be a much lonelier person without it. But maybe more important than the destinations that I booked and planned for have been the unexpected legs and layovers that I've chanced into. I've been to Twitter for campaign stops and emergency flights. It's how I've organized electoral work, found candidates to work for and volunteer with. It's how I got to meet the queer friends who helped me come out and start building with the community. It's where I first learned what happened to Mike Brown in 2014, all the way to George Floyd in 2020, and where I discovered what I could do about it, where to put my body. My long-term organizing homes, Brooklyn Movement Center and Audre Lorde Project, they tweeted out registration links for teach-ins, so I showed up, and then I kept showing up thanks to Twitter. In February 2020, my disabled friends started tweeting that we should consider buying a couple of extra non-perishable goods next time I went grocery shopping, and from there they became the gold standard communicators about what was happening and what continues to happen around us through this pandemic. Where to find masks, where to get tests, how to get appointments for vaccines, all of it on that goddamn website. It brought me to safety, it brought me to community, it brought me to power. Unlike other social medias that seem to me to be about what you look like or who you already know or what you've bought lately or what you've sold, Twitter has felt like what Rebecca Solnit calls the intensely absorbing present that arises from improbable events and creates improbable community. When you go there, you feel like you're in the place where the important things happen, or at least that you're all on your way there. I don't mean to overly romanticize the site. It's a place where hate speech got a microphone, where we were encouraged in our worst impulses, and where context collapsed so hard it pulled everything nearby down with it. But I feel affection for Twitter much like I feel affection for, say, LaGuardia. Every time I pass through, I'm like, okay, have your jokes, but this is my airport and it's not nearly as disgusting as everybody says. For a long time, I've joked that I'm on Twitter to become successful enough so that I can leave Twitter. As if there was some destination I could reach where I wouldn't need all those other people, where I wouldn't need to go anywhere else again. But now, as I'm recording this, I have no idea where Twitter will be in a few days, much less a few weeks when I upload. But whatever happens, we'll still need ways to reach each other. We may find other routes that are slower or more dangerous or less accessible, but Twitter or no Twitter, we'll always be on our way. In comments, tell me about your feelings about all this Twitter stuff if you use it, or talk to me about how you find your way to other people. This video is brought to you by the Radish Collective, my community of Patreon supporters, and you can join them at patreon.com/ItsRadishTime. I will see you next week. Bye.